So here, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if so yeah, did I say my intro? So this is what if Asta was the reincarnation of Morty Jim, part 1 redo. So yeah, I'm actually gonna redo the series, which I didn't actually continue as a series. Instead, I only did one part, and didn't actually do part 2 or 3 or whatever. Just because I didn't actually like how I did it last time. Probably because I didn't actually watch Black Clover the whole way, but yeah. But I'm gonna redo it, and I'm actually going to change a couple things from the last what if that I actually did, but yeah. So I'm actually gonna redo it, and yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna do a recap because first of all, this is a redo, but yeah. Other than that, let me go into this what if and let me shut the fuck up. But yeah. Okay, so let's begin. We begin into where, well, Asta is right now, well, on the ground. Of course, this is an 8-year-old Asta. This 8-year-old Asta was actually getting beaten up from the fact that he had no magic and the fact that, well, no one really cared about him. Not even a single person. When I mean a single person, the only person that actually cared about him is Sister Lily. Of course, this 8-year-old Asta gets up, of course, like, his body's all hurt. He has, well, his kind of shirt and other clothing is kind of ripped. Of course, his eyes are actually still green, like a lighter green and all that, but it's kind of becoming dull from the fact that he's got his ass kicked. This is where, well, these kind of, well, people are just laughing at him. They're all older people. They're like, well, one of them is 17, the others are like adults, and then another one is actually 16. But yeah, they're laughing because even though they don't have any power against Royal and Magic Knights, and they get bullied by them, they can just take out their anger on the weaker guy, and that being an 8-year-old Asta. And since there's no laws or rules in using kids back then, like, probably there were, if, I don't know, but there probably was. But of course, Asta, he tries to get up because he only was running an errand. The fact he was running an errand to bring towards a place and all that, to pay for the rent and all that, for the, what's called, like, church and all that. He was the only one going out because Father Ortiz told him to do it. But yeah, Asta looks at these people, and this is where, well, Asta kind of just sees these people quite annoying to him. This is where, well, he gets up, and of course, where, well, his legs are trembling, and this is where, well, one of them says, "Aw, the kid is getting up. We should probably teach him a lesson and to make him stay there. Stay in the ground, you pathetic weakling." One of them tried to kick at, well, Asta, until Asta dodges it. Well, he didn't dodge it on purpose, it was on accident. Pretty much for some reason, his body is going on instant. This is where Asta's eyes are actually becoming duller and duller and duller. Like, there's no light in his eyes. But this is where something happens. When they all try to attack him, lightning comes down from the sky and strikes one of them down, right now knocking them out. That's where the other two are confused because they don't see a storm until a storm actually appeared. There's clouds up in the sky, and that's where Asta's eyes started becoming something different. His dullish eyes are becoming much more brighter green now. And this is where a yellow cross appears instead of having a black pupil. This is where, well, Asta says one word and one word only. He says one word unconsciously. Shanduan. This is where lightning starts crackling from the sky. And of course the lightning just strikes down. 3 bolts of lightning strikes at the 17-year-old, the 2 other adults, and knocking them all out. Asta was about to pass out. Like, this is where Asta, an 8-year-old Asta, was slowly passing out. His eyes were closing. This was only an unconscious. Right now, someone's right now protecting him. In his body, controlling him for a second. Asta falls down in front of him. But this is where, well, the cloud just comes out of nowhere. A cloud comes out of nowhere and just stops his fall. Made him lay down and, of course, fly away. Far away. This is where we go into kind of a 14-year-old Asta. This 14-year-old Asta has become much stronger. You see here, an 8-year-old Asta was way weak and couldn't even fight back. But now he's 14. Now the reason why he's 14 and not 15 yet is because he's been training in the mountains and far away from humanity entirely. He's been training in the mountains, and even though you might think that Asta might have no magic, but in reality he has magic. It's just he doesn't use it that much, but yeah. Of course, this is where Asta has trained his body, himself, and everything, even his mind, and to adapt just like Mori Jim. His eyes are actually a greenish colorway yellow cross. A goldenish yellow cross. Of course, this is where he has trained in Taekwondo, what's it called? No sword style, and different other techniques that he got knowledge from, Mori Jim's kind of like soul. Of course, Asta and Mori Jim has fused. We go into a flashback of when Asta was 9 years old. Because when he was an 8-year-old getting his ass kicked, he was confused in why he was living up here in the mountain. Of course, there was no one hurting him or anything, but it was just confusing to him. This is where he met, what's it called? Mori Jim after a while when he turned 9 and all that. Of course, it's only been like 2 weeks from him just living in the mountain, but of course there was food for him to kind of eat. For some reason, his body, not 2 weeks when he met Mori Jim. No, it was kind of a couple of days when he kind of woke up and all that. Of course, meeting Mori Jim and his mind skip and kind of learning the fact that he's actually a reincarnation of a god. Yes, if you want to think about it, Mori Jim is a god. He was a god from the beginning of the whole series. I mean, he wasn't, but that was just the fact that he was kind of reborn to be normal, then transformed to a god. Then you get the point. If you have never watched what's it called, The God of High School, or even read the webtoons, I suggest you read the webtoons because you will get caught up into a lot of abilities that, Mori Jim will have. If you don't want to read it, then I guess you can watch the anime, but there's only been 1 season, but yeah, whatever. Of course, the word, Mori Jim is, talking to Asta when he actually was kind of waking up. Asta kind of fused with, Mori Jim's soul, making him kind of become the new Wukong, new Sun Wukong of this world. Of course, the word Asta. We go back into him being 14 years old. He'd been training in nothing but taijutsu and other things. Or mostly, if you want, not taijutsu, martial arts. And other types of techniques. And since Asta doesn't need to use borrowed power, even though he has it, because if you want to know about this, but yes, Mori Jim has it to get all the power of the other users who had borrowed power and give it to him when he was fighting against Margin Park. So of course, in this world, yes, Asta is going to have borrowed power. He's not going to use it because, he wants to usually use his own strength. When he's in desperate situations, he will have to use borrowed power. And he can go to any power that he wants. Any borrowed power that he wants or wants to use or whatever. But of course, he's just been training up in the mountains and realized that he should probably go down to humanity, right? Thinking that maybe he should live with humans again. Even though he's a fucking god now and doesn't really need to, he still thinks it's a good idea. He's been up here for about he's been up in the mountains for 6 years. This is where, he then kind of calls out to his cloud called Gumbo. And of course, Gumbo, or whatever the hell it's called, it comes out of nowhere. And of course, this is where, not of course. Of course, this is where Asta jumps on the cloud and says, "Let's go!" This is where the cloud starts kind of flying down to human civilization. Well, mostly the civilized world of the humans. Now I should mention one thing. The mountain that Asta has been living on was pretty damn cold, but at the same time, Asta was kind of getting used to the cold weather. So of course, Asta's pretty, dense in cold weather. He's pretty good. This is where Asta, he kind of told the cloud to stop for a second because he sees, some, humans and all that, mostly males, harassing kind of this female. This is where this female had blondish hair and dullish blue eyes. She was kind of getting annoyed with these guys and all that and was about to use her magic and all that. We're trying to. But of course the guys didn't care. This is where it was 3 guys. But before they even get close to her, this is where, Asta jumps off the cloud. And this is where Asta, lands on top of one of them, mostly using his leg to stomp on one of their faces, smashing him to the fucking ground, while he jumps off the guy's face, and of course, well, mostly land down, doing a backflip, and down perfectly fine. Now I should mention one thing. Yes, Asta, I want to say Asta Jim for some reason, but whatever. Asta did kind of take the last name Jim, or mostly, yeah, the Jim, the last name, because, well, he is going to be a fusion between Mori and Jim, but yeah, he is a reincarnation, but whatever. So, of course, Asta Jim actually lands down. This is where, Asta says, so, what are you idiots doing to a girl? This is where the girl is right now behind Asta, confused, but of course, the other two are right now confused and where the fuck he landed from. And this is where Asta, he has no shirt, I should mention. He's basically just like Mori Jim. If you want to know how Mori Jim's kind of like outfit looks like, it would be like this. So this is how Mori Jim's kind of outfit would kind of look like. Yes, he does kind of have blue pants, but yeah, don't worry about it, how the fuck he got there, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, he doesn't have the staff just yet. He kind of has that in his ear. If you don't know about this, but the staff can definitely shrink most of the time. Well, not most of the time. It can shrink. It can also expand. It can become bigger. It can become a skinny stick and become longer. But yeah, you get the point. This is where he has in his ear just kind of there. Anytime he needs to kind of grab it out, he will. This is where, well, he kind of just stands there and says, so, what are you guys doing? Now, I should mention one thing. Asta is not a dwarf size. He is not 5'1". He's actually pretty big. He's actually 5'8". He's the same height of when Mori Jim would be in the God of High School. So, probably 5'8". This is where, well, Mori Jim says, so, who wants to go first in fighting me? This is where, well, the other two looks at him, confused but angry at the same time. One of them rushes and tries to punch at Asta. This is where Asta catches the hand and says, you know that's an idiotic thing to do. And besides, your fucking martial arts sucks if you are really just throwing out a fucking weak, a weak fist. This is where Asta grabs the fist, of course, pulling the guy towards him. But this is where Asta fucking knees him right in the chin, knocking him out. This is where the other guy tries to attack Asta. But this is where Asta, like, just grabs, mostly, like, runs towards this guy, jumps over him, by mostly kind of grabbing his face, and then grabbing his, like, fist when he threw it and all that. When he threw the fist and all that, one guy, of course, Asta grabbed it, but of course, jumped over and grabbing the guy's face, then lands over the guy in the back, and of course, lifting this guy up and throwing his ass to the tree, because there was a tree. Blah! This is where the guy sounded like some bones broke in his back. He is knocked out. This is where the one guy that was kind of just knocked down on the ground gets up and says, I won't lose. This is where he activates his magic, and it's lightning. This is where, well, Asta says, oh, that's interesting. Lightning magic. That's pretty interesting. This is the guy says, whatever. Now die! He throws a lightning magic at Asta. This is where Asta, he just smacks it away like it's nothing to him. Which it's not. It's pretty much nothing to Asta, this weak-ass lightning magic. I should mention that all of them are actually commoners, even the girl. This is where, well, Asta says, well, that's weak for you to do. Asta rushes at the person. He says, triple kick. This is where he kicks this guy 3 times. But of course, they look like after images after kicking the shit out of this guy. If you don't know what it kind of looks like, let me show you then. So this is how Taekwondo triple kick looks like. Of course, that's how the triple kick looks like. And this is where, well, the person felt like he got kicked twice in the head and all that. Of course, spinning right now in the air and getting knocked the fuck out. But yeah, mostly when I said those after mentions, I think I was just thinking of the old trailer one from the God of High School. Because there was an old trailer, like about, I would say 3 years ago they made, or probably 4 or something. I'm thinking about that one because in that trailer, it looked like Mori Jim did a triple kick, but with different colors of after images. Like there were yellow, blue, and pink. But I guess in this one there wasn't. So yeah, that was kind of the one I was kind of disappointed. Went somewhat, but not much. I was disappointed a little bit on the God of High School, the anime. Just some stuff that were there and other things, but not that much. Not me rambling, goddammit, shut the fuck up, potato. But whatever, this is where Asta does that. And this is where, well, he looks at all 3 of them just all knocked out. This is where he looks at the girl, and the girl is kind of there hiding behind the tree, thinking that all of it's over. This is where, well, she kind of gets out the tree and says, that's where she says, hi? She kind of tries to smile, just gently smile, because she doesn't know how strong, well, this person is. This is where Asta says, oh, hello. This is where, well, Asta appears right in front of her. This is where she's right now kind of reddish because, well, Asta's pretty close to her face. Asta's not trying to do this on purpose. He's just on accident because he's just a dense Mori half the time. Think of it like Mori Jim because, well, he doesn't know much about love and he doesn't know about a lot of things because he's been training in the mountain for 6 years, so he doesn't know that much stuff. That's where Asta says, sorry about that problem. I don't know if you were going to handle the fight well or not. I just intervened. Sorry about that. That's where she said, no, it's fine. It's really fine. Thank you. This is where, well, Asta says, yeah. This is where she was about to go, and this is where Asta says, wait. Do you know where Hodge Village is at? This is where, well, this is where Asta says, where's Hodge Village at? This is where she says, Hodge Village? Oh, that village. It's the one that I'm going towards. You can follow me if you don't know where that is. This is where Asta says, yeah, thank you. This is where, well, he kind of follows the girl and kind of just walking with her. And this is where, well, she is kind of embarrassed because, well, she needed help from a guy that's randomly comes from the sky. This is where, well, Asta kind of looking at her, and this is where, well, she's kind of walking a little bit weird, like she sprained her ankle or something. And this is where, well, Asta says, are you okay? This is where, well, she said, huh? I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. But you look like you hurt yourself. I'm fine. It doesn't matter. This is where, well, Asta says, well, you don't look fine. Do you want me to carry you? This is where she said, no. She's right now blushing. This is where, well, Asta says, well, I can, well, did I say this was a 14-year-old Asta? No, I'm going to change it to being 15, but yeah. She's also kind of 15, but yeah. This is where, oh, Asta says, hey, Gamba. This is where Gamba appears right now, kind of flying through the sky, and of course landing right next to him. This is where Asta kind of picks her up and puts her right into the cloud. This is where she is confused and right now embarrassed, and this is where, well, she says, wait, what is this? This is Gamba. This is where, well, she says, what? What is, it's a cloud. Don't worry about it, you won't fall through. She says, are you sure? This is where Asta says, yeah, you are. You'll be fine. Asta smiles with this kind of funny, goofy smile. This is where, well, Asta kind of does itch his kind of like cheek, mostly like his chin a little bit, but yeah, think of it like more Jim. But yeah, this is where, well, Asta says, but let's just go, so lead the way. This is where, well, she just points towards it's forward and all that. So of course they're walking mostly, well, when it's riding the cloud and when it's walking, but yeah. This is where, well, they get to the village, and of course, where people are kind of whispering because they just see a cloud, and this guy with kind of like grayish hair and being spiky and all that. And of course, where, well, yes, Asta does have a sleeping mask. He does have that just to go to sleep, just like Mori Jim, okay? That will not change. This is where, well, Asta is saying, very interesting. This is where, well, Asta is not really caring about half what the villagers are saying because he just doesn't care. This is where she says, can you take me to my house? This is where, well, Asta says, sure. This is where, huh? She just says, where would that be? This is where she says, yeah, I forgot to say. This is where she kind of points and kind of tells where Asta to go and all that. And the cloud would just go along with Asta, but yeah. Because the cloud can also know about directions. It's like it's a cloud that knows human language, okay? So yeah. Of course, where, they get to the house, and of course, where, well, one person is outside training, mostly cutting some wood and all that. And of course, well, she's kind of using ice, and this is where she makes an ice sword and cuts down on a log just to split it in half. Of course, it freezes the log a little bit, and she says, damn it, if I keep doing this, then this is bad. Where's Junko at? This is where she kind of say, whisperly, but this is where, well, Junko say, hey, Asta. Asta turns up and, well, looks up and says, Junko? What happened to you? She kind of runs towards her and kind of picks her from the cloud and says, what happened to you? This is where, Junko says, well, there were some guys being mean and all that until this guy right here, she points at Asta and says, kind of help me. So, yeah. This is where Asta says, okay, thank you, you can go now. This is where, well, Junko says, don't be mean, sis. This is where, well, Asta says, fine. What do you want anyway? Asta says, nothing. I'm just trying to look for, well, this is Hot Village. Where would be the church at? This is where, well, Asta says, church? Oh, it'll be over at the other side of the town. Shit. Fine. Thank you. This is where Asta says, come on, Gamma. This is where Gamma just kind of like sits, well, right in front of Asta. And of course, Asta jumps on the cloud. And this is where, well, they fly off. Whee! Think of it like Son Goku when he jumps on that yellow cloud. So yeah. You know what? I'm gonna just change the name from Gamba or whatever its name is usually to Nimbus. Just for it to be so much easier for me to remember. But yeah, just think of the Nimbus cloud. But yeah. This is where, well, Asta is right now going towards the church. This is where Asta kind of lands down. When he lands down on the ground, he kind of jumps off of Nimbus and lands down on the ground perfectly fine. He like lands very easily. This is where, well, Asta is just kind of looking at the church and saying, so this is the church. Doesn't look run down like the last time I saw it. Yeah, whatever. This is where, well, Asta was about to knock at the door until, well, something just blasts through him. Well, mostly blasted through the door, smashing almost upon him if he didn't jump out of the way. But it was mostly just giant, like, water pressure dragon punch through the, what's it called, like, church door. This is where, well, it wasn't water technically. It was kind of too red, and it was kind of blood manipulation. But this person walks through right now angry at the person who's right now on the ground, kind of dizzying his eyes. This is Yuno who has black hair and jersey. He's like, This is where the girl who walks through the door is right now pissed and having this anguish look in her eyes, saying, you bastard, how many times have I told you not to walk in when I'm changing the other kids? This is where, well, mostly the girl kids. This is where, you know, say, you told me a couple of times. This is where, well, Father Orsi's kind of runs back to the church saying, what's happened here? This is where, well, this girl, her name is Kensaki, says, this idiot is always a moron. This is where, you know, say, I tried to talk to you for a second. This is where Nosh, who kind of was next to Father Orsi, says, what happened? Seriously, you know, I don't understand with your density half the damn time. That's where Sister Lily says, well, Kensaki, can you calm down and not try to kill Yuno? This is where she's making blood symbols, and this is where she's like, fine. That's where Sister Lily kind of noticed them, well, mostly noticed everyone there, and then noticed this kind of grayish haired guy with kind of green eyes. That's where she's like, hello there, can I help you? That's where, well, Asta says, yeah, you can. Hi there. The name is Asta. Asta Jim. I'm just wondering if you remember me, Sister Lily. This is where Sister Lily says, Asta? Jim? She's confused with the Jim part, but she remembers that Asta. And this is where she said, Asta! This is where she runs up to Asta and hugs him. Of course, Asta is much more muscular than normal and much more taller than, well, the last time she saw him. And he was only like a, what's it called, 8-year-old at the same time. Asta is now 15 and way much taller. This is where she's hugging him and saying, you've grown so tall. You're actually so much stronger. Where have you been? She kind of grabs him from the shoulder and shakes him. This is where he's like, can you not shake me like that? I'm about to vomit. This is where, well, she said, sorry about that. This is where, well, Yuno and Kazaki are looking at them confusedly. Father Orsi says, Asta. Asta? He looks at Asta and says, my boy, you came back to me. This is where Asta says, Nimbus. This is where Nimbus appears, right now making a cloud of wall. And of course, he smashes upon it, and it feels like he's hit just steel. He feels like his face just hit steel. Yes, Nimbus kind of did that on purpose. Well, not on purpose. Asta did that on purpose just because he doesn't like Father Orsi that much. This is where Sister Lily says, what? What is that? This is where Asta says, sorry about that. This is Nimbus. Nimbus is a cloud that helped me a lot. You could say that he was a cloud figure. Da-da-da. This is where Sister Lily says, don't make jokes. Okay, just kidding. So I'm gonna have to end it off here because I gotta go somewhere because someone's calling me most of the time. But other than that, have a nice patel day, patel night, patel see, patel, and good night. Bye.